This is Dave. Let us know in the comments if this is your first time, your second, or you're just a regular who likes to hang out with us. And based on the responses, we will know if we are live yet. I think we're kind of
it seems like we are already live.
Getting a hang of this.
Yeah,
right? We're kind of getting a hang of this. We have we started out with just kind of like 2 screens, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens. We have all the tools that we need. So, welcome, good morning, good evening, everybody. We try to do this workshop according to California and just regular West Coast lunchtime. So if you're from the West Coast, then good afternoon, happy eating, whatever, bon appetit. For the rest of us, good evening or good morning. And this is David, this is Dave. We are the founders of ProMaster, and today we're going to do some crazy things with ChatGPT. How are you feeling, Dave?
I'm feeling really excited, especially that now we have some brand new slides in the deck. As I love teaching, I love to teach new things. I love teaching things for the first time. So this is going to be really exciting for me too.
You're the resident teacher.
Yeah, I love it. And tell us where you're from. I'm really curious. I see people from Seattle, Cyprus, 3 p.m. there. I know people from Hungary are joining as well.
3 p.m. Is that East Coast?
Yes.
I think that's East Coast, right?
Yeah, now we are streaming on San Francisco,
Germany,
lunchtime.
Toronto, Boston, New Zealand.
David, we have over 100 people watching right now.
Awesome. Wow, that's a pretty strong start.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's make sure that we're going to keep it that way. So I think out of the 1,000 buttons, this is what I'm going to need to push, right?
That's the one. Okay.
So let's get started. What are we going to learn today? Did it work?
It works. You can now...
Watch is nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what are we going to learn today? So first of all, we're here to do some crazy things with ChatGPT. Why? Because actually, I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but according to a joint research done by researchers at Harvard, Wharton, and MIT, any knowledge-based job can be done 40% more effectively with ChatGPT. Again, this is not just some, clickbait stuff. This is actual hard science. Now let's take a look at the bottom of this to understand what can you do, because I think most of you already kind of feel this, right? It's most people who are using ChatGPT on a daily basis are already sort of doing things faster. Is that about right with your experience? Just let us know in the comments while we're moving forward. So first of all, there was this first thing that they took a look at this research. The first one is that business professionals doing knowledge-based jobs, they compared their regular manual work with just using ChatGPT casually. It's like, no training, nothing whatsoever. I'm just kind of looking up stuff, doing stuff, whatever, just ad hoc. Most of us ChatGPT users are doing things that way. And they figured that there was an increase in quality by about 38%. So the output that knowledge workers can do, any white collar job, is about 38% better if you're just using ChatGPT randomly. It's just, I think this is what I should do. This is what I should do.
Like if you're talking to it like a regular person.
Exactly. Now,
amazing.
For those people who had actual formal education in prompt engineering, videos and training materials, whatnot, that was about almost 5% higher, 42.5%. That kind of shows us something, but it's not really significant, is it? It's kind of like within the margin of error.
Yeah.
So again, just ChatGPT use is awesome. It makes you 40% better at your job without lifting a finger. But what happens? What else happens if you get actual formal ChatGPT training? Does anything change? Turns out, yes, it does. Because another thing that they were measuring was time. How quickly can these people do the better job, roughly 40% better job? And those people who were just randomly pushing buttons with ChatGPT and trying to make things work out of like their own sort of creative minds, it was about 80% faster. So They were already doing stuff 18% faster. But those people who actually get formal ChatGPT training, they learned prompt engineering, they were twice as fast. They were super fast.
Super fast.
They were super fast. Look, that means that an 8-hour workday was done in 6 hours.
Yeah.
If you are using ChatGPT in your job on a daily basis, and if you had formal prompt engineering education, so you know what you're doing, then you can deliver 8 hours worth of work in 6 hours. Let me put that into context. That's about 500 hours in a year. There is about 250 work days in a year. Yeah. So you gain 2 hours every day. That's about 500 hours. That's 21 full days. But actually, I just figured out something, and this is probably better one for a slide for the future. There are 8 work hours a day. So if you get 500 hours back, do you know how many work days that is? That's 62 and a half work days. Yeah. That means basically, if you're using ChatGPT for your work, you could go and you would have the same productivity level that you had last year. You could go on a holiday for 2 more months in this year or next year. You could just stop working now and only work from the 1st of January. And you would still get everything done.
Yeah, it's crazy.
ChatGPT can give you 2 months back because it allows you to do things super fast. And that is what we teach people. We teach people, no, this one, not that one, this one. Okay, lots of buttons, sorry. We teach people how to think faster with ChatGPT. But there are a lot of people who claim to teach that. So why should you listen to us specifically? Now, first of all, if this is your first time here, PromMaster is a ChatGPT school. We launched in March, and we had the opportunity to educate over 6,000 people. It was last week. It was only 5,000. Actually.
Yeah.
To 6,000 people from 45 countries. That's how quickly these people are coming to us. It's amazing. We have a circle community with our most active students who are helping each other and asking questions regularly. We have about 1,000 people there, and it's just amazing. It's really humbling, actually, to kind of have the ability and the opportunity to teach this many people to do things super fast. But what else? So this young gentleman here actually does have an education background. He built a 160,000 people community and taught people on Instagram marketing. I learned everything I knew about Instagram, but not everything he knew, which meant that I'm not very good at Instagram, but he is awesome. And I think some of your students are actually now our students at PromMaster. Is that correct?
Yeah, some of them are. Actually, when we first launched the prompt engineering course, I remember we used mostly my audience.
So if there is anybody who's been with Dave for quite a while, just say something in the comments. Just tell everybody that you're here. And also, I have a technology background. I ran a machine learning startup for 5 years in London, and I've done a bunch of other things. I've been in tech for about 12 years, and I'm just a nerd. Don't let the shirt fool you. I was supposed to go on a roundtable discussion today at a conference, but it turned out that it's gonna be tomorrow. I also have ADHD, which is really funny because one of my eyes I was looking at, and someone commented that ChatGPT is digital Adderall, and yeah, I can feel that. Yeah. Let's move on. The two of us, I think we have a really good grasp on things about large language models, but we recognize that we need more. We need more to provide world-class education. So we partnered up with a company called Neuron Solutions, and we had co-authors in our courses who have over 2 decades of experience in machine learning, deep learning, neural networks. And Levente, the lovely gentleman on the picture, he's a dozent at the Frankfurt Business School of Finance and Management. He actually co-authored all of our courses with us, and he's a lovely guy. I basically learned a lot from him in the last 10 months. Also, another thing, we are both very avid ChatGPT users, and we're actually going to teach this to our community in Circle, how to get that number. But we just did an analysis this week, and Dave and I together, since last November the 30th, when ChatGPT came out, we had over 5 million words with ChatGPT in ChatGPT conversations. Let it sink in for a bit, because I was absolutely amazed when I realized that number was that big. It's 5 million words, which is longer than the entire life's work of Ernest Hemingway. So we've had more, we've written more, we've had ChatGPT write more than Ernest Hemingway in his entire lifetime. That's pretty crazy, but it's an amazing experience. So
hold on there, let me pause you for a second. I need to fix some delay because I see it on the video as well, and I need the mouse. So let me increase the offset of the audio, and that should solve it. So thanks a lot, Chaba, for letting us know. And yeah, you can keep going. I'm gonna give you back the mouse. It's just some technical issue.
Okay.
Let me know if it's better.
So 5 million words, more than Ernest Hemingway's entire life's work. And we're gonna teach you everything that we know. That's our promise to our students. We're gonna teach you how to work super fast, how to do awesome things with ChatGPT. And I really love the word super fast, because it just gives you that kind of notion of what you can do with ChatGPT. So this is basically you. You're the Mario, right? and I'm a Mario, but then you meet with ChatGPT, right? So what happens is when you meet with ChatGPT, you're gonna find yourself being just an awesome version of you who are working super fast. That's the promise. Now, I think I've talked enough to start warming people up. So let's talk about what we're gonna talk about. Let's talk about what we're gonna talk about today. We have 3 main topics. 1, get the big elephant in the room out of the way. Why are you getting bad responses from ChatGPT? You know, there are a few people who are very good at ChatGPT, and there's the majority who's like, yeah, I understand why ChatGPT is awesome, but I can't get it to do this and that or that. We are going to solve this tonight on this video. Second thing, how to give ChatGPT long-term memory with PDFs. It's basically how to make ChatGPT remember everything. And you will see that this one thing will make ChatGPT infinitely smarter. And then once we learn these 2 things, we're just gonna do some awesome things super fast with ChatGPT Live. We're literally just gonna open up a screen share, open up ChatGPT, and just start doing things, and hoping that we're not gonna fail in the process. So I'm gonna let our resident teacher take over. I'm gonna sip some water and listen to him explain to us, why are you getting bad responses from ChatGPT?
Thanks a lot, David. This is a really good intro to the workshop. I'm still seeing some issues with the audio delay, so I'm gonna add a couple milliseconds. It's weird because we're using the same camera setup, but okay, I added a little more delay. So let me know.
It's a different time, so we might just have internet connectivity issues.
No, I think it's more like the hardware issue. With my computer is just doing too much now, like running 3 displays and the 4K camera. maybe right. It should use.
Okay,
ChatGPT
people are saying it's perfect now. So awesome.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. So why do you get bad responses from ChatGPT? So there are 2 main reasons for this. First off is your prompts are probably just bad. So, you know, it's like whatever comes in goes out. So if it's a bad
garbage
prompt,
in, garbage out, as they say.
Yeah, thanks. I wanted to use a different word, but then I was like, yeah, I'm not going to say that. So bad prompts result in bad responses. And the other one is ChatGPT hallucination. So let's tackle these two issues one by one. So first, how to fix your bad prompts. What most people do is in the prompt, they only give the task, which is like, write me a brownie recipe, or like, tell me whatever you know about Ernest Hemingway. And then they just get a response, which is good for a lot of uses, especially if you just use ChatGPT to like get like information and synthesize the information.
Yeah.
But it can only take you so far. And what ChatGPT Pros do is they know all the 6 key elements of a prompt, and then they know when they should use the optional ones. So the first two, the context and persona and the task, these are the first 2 elements. They are necessary in every single prompt. Context is provided by default. So whenever you send the chat to ChatGPT, the default persona is you are a helpful assistant. So that sets the standard at first. And then obviously you always have to provide a task. And then the other 4 elements are optional. So sometimes you can give examples to enhance the output. Sometimes you can provide restrictions and constraints. You can also tell like what is considered good, and you can tell the steps to achieve a certain goal. And an example to this is goes as follows: act as an advertising copywriter who is witty, concise, and his primary objective is to make ads that people remember. This is the context and persona. Now we don't have the task yet, but we have everything set to make ChatGPT act a certain way. And then we tell the task, which is write a Facebook ad copy and describe the visual. The product to promote is, and then you put in the description, and then you can insert examples of maybe previous successful ads that you run. You can add restrictions when your ads are maybe platform specific, so you have to respect certain boundaries, and so on whenever it's relevant. So the professionals, the pro users of ChatGPT, who are good at prompting, know when to use which element. You have a question?
So my it's just my personal comment, but it feels so intuitive, but then it's not. It's like you have to consciously think to add all of these things. And then one thing that we realized is that our students were telling us that they become better managers, better colleagues, because they become better at delegating tasks to their colleagues and their direct reports, because they're like, oh, so maybe my report couldn't do the job I asked them to do because I didn't give them a description of what is considered a good result.
Yeah.
You get better at prompting, you get better at communicating with humans too.
Yeah, it's amazing. And actually this is a good way to practice just communication with a person.
Yeah, it's just so crazy. You become a better human communicator by talking more to a machine.
Okay, this is crazy. I need to sleep on this and really wrap my brain around it. Okay, talking about wrapping my brain around something, we need to give ChatGPT some external brain, some long-term memory. So we are going to help ChatGPT to stop hallucinations with a PDF long-term memory. And it's not just PDFs, but this is what we're going to show you.
How often do you guys meet with or struggle with hallucination with ChatGPT? Just let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. And I'm going to show and tell the definition that I came up with assistant from ChatGPT itself. So what we came up with is that the hallucination in large language models, LLM is large language model for short, is where the model, due to gaps, ambiguities, or errors in its training data, generates information that is not accurate or verifiable, but presents them with unwarranted confidence. So this is why it's really difficult for you to tell the difference, to tell when it's hallucinating, and even, especially GPT 3.5 is really vulnerable to this. GPT 4 is a lot safer. Like if it doesn't know something, it tells you. I mean, that's my...
So hallucination is basically a university student trying to wing the exam.
Yeah, but like with full confidence.
Yeah.
Like bluffing at
like
a poker table.
Boy.
Like he or she just goes and is like, this is the answer. And it's like, even maybe you can start even arguing like, that's not how I read it that's not how I thought it. And then maybe it just fights back. But yeah, this is hallucination. So tell us how often. I see people say that it's very often. So especially with references, yeah, like tell me whatever law maybe is related to a problem, and it just makes up some random bullshit. So yeah, hallucination. Now let me tell you 5 reasons. Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, it's really interesting because this came up only the first time, I think, in these workshops when people are like, hallucinations are the bot lying, but the difference between hallucination and lying is intent, right? And ChatGPT is a large language model. It does not have intent. Its only intent is to predict the continuation of the string of text that you gave it. So that's why you call it hallucination. Again, I can give you a wrong answer and I can say, oops, I was wrong. But if I had an intent of misleading you, then I was lying. And that's a pretty sobering take on this, which kind of throws out most of the media take.
Yeah. So, I mean, its main intent is just to act as a helpful assistant.
It just wants to
try to help you, and it thinks it's helping you by providing, some kind of information. Let me tell you the 5 main causes of hallucination. First off, data gaps. So this is just the general gap in the training data that ChatGPT saw and learned on. So there might be parts where or topics where it just doesn't have enough information, especially in languages that are not as common. So for example, in Hungarian, which is only spoken by 15 million people in the world natively.
Yeah, 14, 15 million.
Yeah. So, compared it to 1.5 billion people who speak English, there's 100 times more content in English than our native language Hungarian, which is kind of proportional to how much training data it had in those languages as well. So what happens is there are like gaps in its knowledge, and it just tries to fill it up somehow because it wants to help you. The second one is prompt ambiguity, which is when basically ChatGPT misunderstands your prompt. This could be partly because of a lack of good prompt engineering skills, but it could also just be a mistake made by the model because it just doesn't really understand or comprehend the prompt itself. Another issue is the amplification of noise. So within the training data, there is obviously a lot of signal, but there's obviously some noise. And sometimes if that happens, especially with the temperature, maybe sometimes being a little higher, it can just amplify this noise and just make up some random things that are not really true. Model complexity also plays a big role here because the GPT-3 and 4 models were trained on like hundreds of billions of parameters, and that obviously just gives a lot of complexity to the system. So that sometimes goes a little south, and it just doesn't really provide a good response. And then there are these so-called generalization mechanisms within these systems where they basically try to summarize and dumb down the information when it's giving it out to you unless you say otherwise. So all these large language models somehow generalize the information that they give out.
Okay.
So now how do we prevent this? There are 3 main things you can do to prevent GPT hallucination or any large language model hallucination, but this workshop is really about ChatGPT. First, you can just feed information in the prompt. This is really easy because you know how much you can fit in there, and you just put that in. For example, in the example about the Facebook advertising, you can just put in the information about the product that you want to sell within the prompt, and then that's it, and it gives you really good copy.
It usually works pretty well. These kind of end up being those mega prompts that you can find all over the internet. There is one challenge with those, though, which is it eats up your context window considerably.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know what a context window is. So just let us know in the comments if you know what is a context window.
Oh, yeah. I removed that from the presentation.
We removed that from the presentation. But if you don't know what a context window is, we'll let you know.
Yeah. While we're waiting for the chat to tell us if we should talk a little bit about the context window, another technique you can use to prevent GPT hallucination is using a search plugin like the Keymate AI that has Google search function, so it can get information into its own prompts from the web. So basically how that works is you send a prompt, Keymate goes to Google, finds some information, puts the relevant stuff back into the prompt itself, and then goes...
Is that the let me Google that for you on steroids?
Well, yeah, there's a new thing called let me ChatGPT that for you.
No, but really, like Keymate AI, which we love those guys, right? Utku and Özgür, they're awesome guys. We work with them a lot, and I think some of you have come from their email list, and so they're sponsoring this workshop mainly. And so what Keymate does is just you ask them a question and it turns it into a Google search query and then returns the responses.
Yeah, so that way you have access to up-to-date information. Okay, I see now in the chat that there are like 10 people who said like they don't know.
Okay.
And so I want to take like a minute to explain what a context window is. So whenever you're writing the prompt for ChatGPT, you are just typing in the chat and then it gives you a response. And then you can just keep going in the conversation. But there is, for GPT-4, there's a so-called 8,000 tokens that fit within its context window. This is the short-term memory of ChatGPT, the amount of content it can remember and call back to
within the conversation.
Yeah, okay. So 8,000 tokens is roughly 6,000 words in English language, which is a lot actually. So it's not a small window, but you can get into issues if you are just doing like long stuff. So this is 8,000 tokens in the prompt and the response together. So if you have a prompt there's like super long, it's like 7,000 tokens, then the response you get is only going to be a maximum of 1,000 tokens really, because it's physically impossible for the model to just generate.
It's basically like, I don't know if you guys remember that movie. It's basically like 10-second Tom from the First 50 Dates movie, when the guy was basically forgetting the law. Like he only remembered the last 10 seconds and everything. God. And like it was kind of a rolling thing, and everything that happened longer than 10 seconds ago, he didn't remember. So 10 seconds was Tom's context window. It's 6,000 words for ChatGPT. Okay.
Yeah.
Quick question: how many words would be, or how many tokens would be a human's context window? We did have that conversation before, right?
Yeah. So there's some debate in the scientific community about like how long or short the context window of a human is. But basically, the short-term memory, what I learned in medical school, because I went there for 4 years and decided like, this is not for me. But I learned neurology and stuff. And what they taught me is that short-term memory in humans is basically the amount of information you can repeat back verbatim.
Okay.
So whenever I'm telling you a story, you can remember roughly 20 to 30 seconds of information. And then if you stop me at like 40 seconds, you will forget the beginning. Or sometimes people, like there are like competitions where they do like how many numbers of a sequence can you remember. So if you just look at the numbers like one by one, you can just remember like 4 to 7 chunks of information. But if you chunk the numbers up like by threes into like different characters or like images, then you can just remember more. But basically the human context window is really short.
Yeah, it's like 4 to 7 items that you can learn, and then you can just kind of play around with grouping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever someone is telling you a story, what you're looking for is like, what are some key things that is just like one block of information.
Yeah.
And then I can fill in the story whenever I tell it again. Yeah. I just look for the key points and then I just fill it up. Okay. This is why whenever you tell a story,
so basically, the human brain can remember more things than its context window by creating a sort of a list of associations that I can just kind of jump back to. You said like chunking and grouping information. So 3 information, I group them into one. This is kind of like how the memory palace works, right? I don't need to remember. I don't need to remember the cat. I can remember the cat with a hat that's gray and has boots on, and now I can just assign a piece of information to every single one of those things, and then I can retain more than 4 to 7 information.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there something that's kind of similar to how maybe can we just do this with ChatGPT as well, to kind of just give it a way to kind of remember more stuff?
Yeah, the third thing on the slide is the personal knowledge base, and some like one of the tools you can use this for is keymate.ai, which is a really cool tool because it helps you upload your own personal knowledge base, and that way you can give it like a long-term memory, like a library of information that ChatGPT can always go back to and get you information that you uploaded. So before I get into that, I want to explain what a knowledge base really is, because this is a super complex topic in terms of like informatics, like vector databases and embedding models and retrieval augmentation generation. So it's like a lot of heavy stuff.
We're nerding out on this. I love it. I love it.
But unfortunately, we're not going to go deep into that. I'm sorry, David.
Okay.
But I brought a really good simplified explanation of a knowledge base, and chat, tell us if this makes sense what I'm saying, because if it doesn't, then this
is also the first time we're trying this explanation. So
yeah, that's why I'm trying to get some feedback to like let us know. So simplified explanation of a knowledge base. If you ever heard of Pantone, which is a company who is specializing in colors, and they have a bunch of colors every year. They bring out like new colors, like colors of the year and so on. And they specialize in print, actually. So print, so like textile, print for like the press, and for like finding paint for your house. And you can take all the colors and put them into a database where you code all the colors in terms of their hue, saturation, and luminance. With these three things, you can code any color. So what you can do with a knowledge base is you say, well, I like this blue color. Find me the best match from the Pantone library, because I really like Pantone colors and I want to paint my house with this blue but in Pantone colors. So what it does is it finds the closest match and it tells you, hey, your color is the Pantone 310. This is your match, and if it's Pantone's native solution,
it's pretty similar.
Thank you. I just eyeballed it.
I mean, I'm just, if we have any colorblind people with us, they are pretty similar.
Yeah. I mean, this is something to like for us to think about in the future, because to make our education more accessible.
Yeah.
But I try to bring in like a color palette that even fully colorblind people can see the difference in the strength. So they can see the difference in the strength of it. So then it can find you Pantone 310 and then get you that. So what we did is we put in a color and then we got out a color. But how we did that is basically we converted both colors into some mathematical attribute that we can compare. So you can use HSB, what we used in example. You can use CMYK, RGB, or hex code, or whatever it is. You just have to be able to compare the same ones. But then once you have two HSB codes or two CMYK, you can just divide them and find the shortest distance between the two. Like what is like the smallest difference between the two.
Yeah. And
then you can have the closest match.
That really kind of explains how scientists always say that mathematics is the language, universal language of the word, and this is the proof.
Yeah, because you can't really, like, you have to code the color somehow. And we are faced with the same problem. How do we compare two text blocks?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Well, you need to convert it into something that's mathematically decodable, which is, in this case, what people invented is a vector database. So what you do is you just code each text string. It can be a word, it can be a sentence, depending on how you set up your vector database. What the guys at Keymate did is it's each sentence with a punctuation mark. That's where it just separates the sentences. And then converts everything to like 1,000-dimensional vectors, and this is what we didn't want to get into on this workshop.
We teach this in a bit more detail on our courses. But it's a rabbit hole. if you want to learn more about this, the basic principle that kind of builds on top of this is called the taxi cab geometry.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something for you to kind of get lost in the YouTube rabbit hole once this session is over. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's I like when you just plug in like extra information, like, hey, this is how you can just learn more, because there's always a lot we can talk about. So like this way, when you convert each text string into something that's mathematically calculable, then you can just divide or subtract the two vectors from each other, and then you can find the nearest neighbors. So this is what Keymate does. So let me show you like a process of like how you can take some information and put it into a knowledge base.
Okay.
So what you do is you have your raw data. This is, in this case, text. Step one is to vectorize it based on whatever however you set up your knowledge base. It's like, n dimensions.
We get it. Turn a sentence into code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Into numbers. Just get it into numbers. Yeah.
Sentence to
numbers. And then you store this in a vector database. Okay, so that's one part of it.
Put the numbers in the pocket.
Yeah. So how you connect a large language model to this is you have your prompt. You say like, okay, tell me like this is the color I'm looking for, or I'm looking for similar sentences to this one. And what you do is you then vectorize the whatever part of the query it is in the prompt.
Yeah.
And then you find the close neighbors in the vector database. You pull only that information. You put that to the prompt, and this way you can play within the context window.
Nice.
And then you get a model response.
And that way you got the information from the vector database, which you put in, which means that you're making sure that the actual response you're getting as a reference, whatever the large language model is going to be referencing, it's not going to be hallucinating.
Yeah, because the vectorization really codes the entire, like all the parameters you can think of in a sentence, the meaning, the sentiment, the rhythm, everything you can code into vectors.
It's the last time I checked, it's like a 1560 something dimension space that it uses. It's pretty crazy to wrap your head around. There's like over 1,500 different parameters that it's using.
Yeah, I mean, I can wrap my head around like 4 dimensions and like that's it.
My math teacher used to say back in high school that if anybody can imagine more than 3 dimensions, they're not supposed to be in academia. They're supposed to be in a mental institution.
Bro. But like I can imagine like 3 spatial dimensions and 1 time dimension.
Okay.
Did she think of that, or did she say like more than 3 spatial dimensions?
I think the point is that that teacher was actually pretty like online even back then. So we would be able to kind of reach out to her about the lessons and everything online. And I made a habit out of asking like fringe science questions at like 11 p.m. in the evening. It's like, excuse me, miss, can you tell me about like the Tesseract? I'm really fascinated by that. And I was like 16 years old, and she was like, no, I cannot. Those things don't exist. Leave me alone.
Okay. Yeah, let's get back to it. So somehow to visualize this, if you only use ChatGPT, you're only utilizing a prompt and the response of it. And then you just prompt, response, prompt, response. If you use a vector database like Pinecone,
okay,
then you can store all of your stuff in your vector database. But then like you have to somehow link the language model to communicate with your knowledge base. And this is what you can use Keymate for. So what Keymate can do is it can vectorize all of your information that you uploaded in a PDF format and store it in a vector database. And then whenever you use the Keymate plugin with ChatGPT, it can vectorize certain parts of your prompt, find the closest neighbors, get those added to the prompt, and then send you the response that is super relevant, uses your information, and it doesn't hallucinate.
One thing that someone asked, Smith K asked, so vectorize will turn text into code, and something I just realized, you can actually kind of think of it that vectorization translates a text from English to machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because machines can do anything with numbers.
Yeah, correct.
So as soon as you have the text coded into numbers and not like letters, then you can just do anything with it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So now the question is, for those who are not familiar with Keymate.ai or any of the plugins, like how do you use them? So how to turn on and use GPT-4 with plugins. And plugins are really useful because they give extra functionality to ChatGPT. Now there are more than 1,000 plugins, and there are a few that are really good. So 3 of them that we recommend people to use are something I'm going to show you in a little bit later. So we're going to give you like top 3 recommendations.
Okay.
So how do you turn these on? In ChatGPT, on the bottom left of your display when you are on desktop, you can find your name, and then you can select settings in beta. And then in the beta features, you turn on plugins. You can also turn on advanced data analysis if you want to do some extra stuff. But now let's focus on the plugins.
Okay.
So you turn on plugins there. And then when you click GPT-4, and this is something you need the ChatGPT Plus subscription for, then you can turn on the plugins or find new ones in the plugin store. And so you can just go down a rabbit hole of plugins, basically. So each plugin has its own basic commands. So for example, Wolfram is a mathematical plugin. So whenever it hears a mathematical problem, like add 2 plus 2, or maybe a little more complex because 2 plus 2 can be added by regular ChatGPT, but any complex mathematical problem, Wolfram will come in, take the numbers, do its own thing, and then bring the response back to you. WebPilot is a plugin that can help you read text from any URL. This is really useful if you want to get some information out of maybe a landing page of a website. If you're like writing marketing emails, like this is the product description. You don't need to bother with like getting the certain parts out of it. You just dump the entire thing in, and then it can get the information for you. Or for Keymate.ai search, you can use the search command, which then allows it to search the web. Or if you say query my knowledge base, it can go there and query your knowledge base. And with the Keymate guys, we put together a free Keymate Advanced Comments cheat sheet, which is going to help you use Keymate like to all of its features, because it has like 10 or 15 different features.
It has like a lot of commands now as well. It's pretty like easy to use it. You can do pretty advanced search, and you can also build your own sort of vector database through just simple text. It's like I'm not gonna spoiler things and take away your light. Okay, so I think you're gonna show this, right?
Yeah, I'm going to right after this. We're going to hop into demo. So
nice.
We are going to show you a page at the end. We put together like a little gift for you, and then one of the things you can get there is this Keymate Advanced Comments cheat sheet. So stick around to the end, and then we'll send you the link.
Give us the cheat sheet.
Okay,
Dave.
So demo. And David, while I set things up, why don't you answer 1 or 2 questions from the
Give
chat.
me a question. In the meantime, let me just take a look at the questions. Is there a real-world example for building a vector database, or even the process of vectorizing something? Now, that's a pretty good question, and here is my answer. Actually, as a regular user, even if you are using vector databases for real-world examples, which is actually something we're going to show you, you don't actually need to kind of go through the vectorization process. It's pretty simple. It's pretty done for you. So it's just for you to kind of be aware of what's happening under the hood, but you don't really need to understand all those things. You don't actually have to understand how exactly a car operates in order to drive the car. And that is basically the same with a vector database. There are real-world examples, and that is when you're doing research, or when you're learning something, or when you just want to kind of build on top of previous conversations. And we're actually going to show you something that is going to help you turn ChatGPT into a personal tutor using all the interesting stuff that we're just gonna teach you.
Yeah. Well,
ready?
Let's hop on. Let's get on with it on this demo. So what we have here is GPT-4, but in plugins mode, as you can see, plugins. But I'm gonna turn off Keymate for now, so no plugins enabled. This is basically just raw GPT-4, and I'm going to say like, what are the 6 key elements of a prompt? Now I'm just showing this to you, the kind of response that it gives me if I'm not accessing my knowledge base.
So it's basically, this is when it's just kind of trying to make things up or figuring out.
Yeah, it doesn't even know that I'm referring to a ChatGPT prompt, right? So this is now one way that I'm triggering this bad response is just a vague prompt.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use the exact same sentence when I query my knowledge base, and it's going to give us a really good answer. Okay. So this is like, well, it's not much we can do with it, right? I mean, it's like a prompt for like writing or educational prompt. Like that's not what we wanted. So let me.
It doesn't even know what you're thinking. It's like assuming you're thinking of writing or educational.
Yeah, but it doesn't even ask back.
It doesn't have. It doesn't have context.
Yeah, I think OpenAI should make ChatGPT like get some clarity out of people before responding with the long stuff.
There is one workaround to that, and that is through custom instructions.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could put that in. Like, keep asking me questions until you're 100% sure on what I'm asking for. Okay, now I'm going to use the Keymate plugin, and I have uploaded the transcript of my prompt engineering course right into my knowledge base. So now I can search for it or search any information. So I say query my knowledge base and tell me the 6 key elements of a prompt. So now it's going to take a while, and while it's loading, I'm going to tell you that we will show you how to upload a PDF in a little bit, like a few minutes.
While it's loading, I just want to kind of stop for 1 second, because probably everybody is really kind of paying attention. So this is probably a good time to remind you that if you like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe to our channel, because we are about to hit the rockets, or whatever they call these things, when we just start kind of doing more content. And it's we're going to be coming with a lot more education. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and stick with us. Oh, look at that. We got the answer.
So we got the answer. Let me show you, like, whenever you open this little button or like this drop down menu, you can always see what the plugin actually did. And this is not just for Keymate plugin, but all the plugins.
Okay.
So what it did is it sent a query with 6 key elements of a prompt.
Okay.
But we don't see the num of pages or whatever, which is the Google search. So now we know that this is searching my knowledge base, and it got this load of text out. Anything that is relevant to the key elements of a prompt, or 6 key elements of a prompt, or whatever. Look, it got in like less than 6, because I think that's also like a 6. So it's found it there. But then it just summarized the information, took whatever needed, and it says context or persona, task definition.
Now we're getting there.
Examples, expected behavior or constraints.
Nice.
What is considered good, expected steps towards the goal.
That is it. And even we have like, I remember our transcript for the courses, and I remember that we have these cupcake examples.
Yeah.
And it even like pulls the examples themselves.
Yeah.
So it's pretty accurate.
We can only bake 1,000 cupcakes each day.
Oh yeah, that's the restrictions, and we just put it in the examples. You can only bake 1,000 cupcakes each day, and when we put it out, someone was like, "That's actually like an awful lot of cupcakes to bake in one day." It's like crazy.
Yeah,
it's like 120 every hour.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a lot. I mean, I guess you need a lot of machines.
I couldn't eat like them. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so let me show you how you can upload a PDF to Keymate. So to do that, you can either upload the PDF to your own URL and just say in a prompt like, upload this PDF to my knowledge base, and then just put in the URL there. Or you can use the Keymate web interface. So the Keymate Ultimate chatbot. This is your own chatbot. So if you use Keymate here, you have access to 32,000 tokens, and that way you can also extend your context window. But
one thing that I think it's important to mention also, because people are kind of doing or asking questions, is like the Keymate web app accesses GPT-4 through the API, which means that even if ChatGPT itself is malfunctioning or it's unavailable, the API is actually going to be still more reliable.
Yeah, and if you are signed up to Keymate, you don't need a ChatGPT Plus subscription.
Yeah.
So if you're only using ChatGPT to like search information on the web or your own knowledge base, then maybe just getting a Keymate plan is better than getting the ChatGPT Plus plan. So let me show you how you can load a PDF. So there's right on the top, there's this little button. So select a PDF to train your personal knowledge base. And what you can do is you just choose a file here. You go through your downloads. There's like a lot of stuff. So like this is the last PDF. And then if I were to click start training, it would load it. I don't want to load it because I loaded it like 5 times and actually let's load it. I don't know. It probably doesn't mess up my, what I'm thinking is if I update a document like 6 times, the same exact document, it might just give me like repeating responses, but I'm not sure what it does with like multiple stuff. So what you can do is you can just look at your PDF training. Actually, I only loaded it twice. I guess I deleted my knowledge base a couple of times.
Yeah, you probably did.
Because every week we do this, I upload it and then some more.
Yeah.
So this last one PDF is now it's still in process.
It's in process. Yeah.
It's in process. Yeah. Let me go back. So I mean, what it would say is like success, and then that's pretty much it. So this is how you can just easily upload PDF.
I have an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have an idea. Can you ask ChatGPT to write a haiku out of the 6 key elements of a prompt?
Of course. What is a haiku?
It's a Japanese poem with a very specific formatting.
What's the
right out of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. It still has the context window. People are saying that we're lagging a bit. Let us know if you guys are still experiencing lags. In the meantime, so a haiku is exactly that.
Let me remove one of my displays.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need that one.
Yeah.
Bang. Back to normal. Okay, awesome. So a haiku is that. It's like 3 lines. And look at that. Context sets the stage. Task and examples, guideline, goals achieved with steps. That's your haiku. Now, can you save that to our knowledge base?
Oops.
What happened?
No. It's okay. It's like I disconnected the iPad.
Okay. Now.
Don't worry.
Save the haiku to our knowledge base now. Can you do that from ChatGPT?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There you go. That's all that it's sent back. And this slash
success.
N, this slash N is like the new line break.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So it's pretty easy. You can just have a conversation with ChatGPT, and then whenever something good comes, you can just like, oh, good, save that now.
Yeah.
Save that now. There was this movie. I don't know who was it or which movie was that. There was this guy who is like, very loud, very kind of a bully, and the way he had conversations with people, he was just talking. He's like, oh, that's a good idea. Write it down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. That's basically what you have to do with ChatGPT when you're using the Keymate AI plugin for knowledge base.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Just some technical check-in, because now as I've removed one of my displays, we have less delay on the camera. So I just reduced the delay of the audio as well. So let us know if this is if there's still delay, or maybe I should just go back to 300 actually. So I'm gonna go back to 400 to ensure we have some stuff, because now I see like there's less delay. So tell us in the chat if now is better. Is it lagging? Is the audio in sync?
Okay.
And I'm gonna switch back to the camera only, because now David, what we said is like you're going to do
let's
your
do something
demo.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something real quick. So I'm just gonna take this over.
You need a new chat, right?
I need a new chat. I have my keyboard and da-da-da.
Okay. I'm gonna hold on a second. You can take it now.
I have control now. Awesome. Okay, so Dave, this is really good and all, but let's try to do something really tangible.
Okay.
So a lot of people have been asking us from webinar to webinar, are you guys going to give us the PDF or the slides so we can just learn from this. And then also I had someone asking, hey guys, can you just send us the slides so I can load it up in my knowledge base? And I'm like, why would you need that? Right? Why would you need that? So you know what? Actually, let's do something crazy. So first of all, I'm going to switch this over to English keyboard layout. Yeah,
now people are going to see what kind of sim racing videos I watch.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's see. Let's see a Kurzgesagt video. Actually, I haven't seen this one yet, so it's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah, me either, as you can see.
And I love stuff about aliens. So, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. You can turn ChatGPT into a personal tutor in just like a few steps, and it's pretty easy and simple. Okay, so this is 11 minutes. So what I'm going to do, this video has transcripts on, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just going to copy the link, right? I'm going to go and search for YouTube transcript. You could do the same with Vox, but it's just easier this way. So YouTube transcript allows me to enter YouTube URL and get the transcript of the video. Bang! But I don't want to watch this video now, so thank you very much. Okay, so quick check before we move on, because I read someone said the video is still fast. Are we good? Not so much bad? Let us know in the comments while I'm selecting all this text. Okay, so I just selected all of this. And I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to say, here is a transcript of a YouTube video from Kurzgesagt. Just say done. This is an important instruction. It's part of the task, right? I don't want you to respond anything, because the context window means prompt and response. And I'm giving you an incredibly big prompt, right? So do not say anything. So I have this. And let's see if it adheres to my instructions. It does. Okay, success. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now, what I'm going to do is save the transcript I just shared with you to my knowledge base.
Now you're just going to spam my knowledge base.
I am doing exactly
Well, actually, I don't
that.
mind having Kurzgesagt videos.
Yeah, I mean, you won't have to watch this back. Just one video, done. You can just ask questions about it. Here's the thing. There are 500 hours of videos being uploaded to YouTube every single minute. And again, I have ADHD. One of my guilty pleasures is when I kind of let my hyper focus roam and just get like into something real deep. So YouTube, when it's directed, it's really good for me because I learn about a lot of things. And but it just takes so much time, because I love all of those videos that take like 30 minutes to an hour, which is like very instructional. We actually uploaded one of those videos to our channel about the education crisis, which I'm really suggesting you guys watch because I put a lot of thought into it and I think it's awesome. Anyway, so this is happening right now live. It's actually just sending the whole thing. We're going to see if it times out or not. If it does, we can just upload it. But in the meantime, so I cannot watch the YouTube videos, right? That's one of my big problems. I cannot watch enough of them. But I do have questions. I am still interested about the key ideas from those videos. This is kind of like what the companies like 12min.com and Blinkist are doing. It's like basically Blinkist allows you to read a book because you only read the excerpt, the kind of summary, or have like 12min.com is literally named after you can read a book in 12 minutes if you just listen to the audio recording of the kind of key ideas.
Yeah, well, I have my objections about that, but that's not.
Me too.
Let's not get
me
into
too.
that. Yeah.
But it's a really good way for me to filter out everything that I want to, right? Because
it has its value for sure. Yeah.
So if I keep putting enough videos into that, I'm like, hey, there are kind of these 100 videos that I'm thinking of watching. Give me the top 10 key ideas that are even recurring. And it gives me 10 ideas, and I'm like, okay, today I want to learn about that. So give me record. Oh, look at that. It timed out. Okay, let's try again. In the meantime, what else we can do as well is we can save this into a PDF.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, because then I can just upload it as a PDF here.
But you already uploaded it as from like text-based.
But it timed out.
No, wait, hold on. Can you go back to the chat?
It timed out. It said error, and I clicked on regenerate.
Yeah. Sorry.
It happens.
I thought the done was like for the first one. Yeah.
No,
it's a bit late at 10 p.m.
It's a bit late at 10 p.m. here, but
now it's faster.
It is a bit faster now. Yeah. Again, with long text, you can just use the KeyMate web app to upload things to your knowledge base. Mm-hmm. Instead of doing that, here are a few things that you can find here. There's the clock of evolution. Okay, we want to probably hear about that. Earth was a magma hell constantly bombarded by asteroids, the life paradox. Okay, so there are a couple interesting things. I'm going to stop this now so we can move on. Mm-hmm. Right?
Also, you can continue the chat even though if it would have timed out.
Yeah, okay. So now give me the key ideas from the Kurzgesagt video. Now again, this is interesting because now we don't know if these are coming from the video, from the knowledge base, or if these are coming from the context window.
I know.
You do?
I do.
And where is it coming from?
This is coming from this chat.
Okay, and how do you know that, Dave?
Because it didn't pull the plugin.
Oh, look at that. So here's the thing. What I want to try now is see if, now obviously clock of evolution, nice. We got a reference. So let's try to see if KeyMate actually saved this. I'm actually not entirely sure if it did, but explain to me the concept of the clock of evolution.
You forgot to pull the knowledge base.
Oh, I forgot to pull the knowledge base, yeah. From my knowledge base.
That's it.
Ah, shit. Okay. Sorry. We'll see if it contains that. If not, we can still just pull up Google Docs and save it as a PDF.
Can you open the plugin? What it's doing?
Okay, let's see what it's doing. Oh, look at that.
There's some other stuff in there.
There are some other stuff in there.
Well, I mean, it's looking for the nearest neighbors. So if it only finds a few neighbors, it's just going to find neighbors from further. Don't show that much stuff from.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It does give me the explanation for the clock of evolution from my knowledge base. And if I upload the whole thing to KeyMate, because basically what I can do, open up a Google Doc, turn it into a PDF. It can be as long as we want to. We can upload it as a PDF to KeyMate, and then I have it in my knowledge base, and I can be like, okay, now please teach me about this. I have this topic. Teach me about this topic. And we have a couple instructions that we can share in our Circle community about how you can literally turn ChatGPT into a tutor, because ChatGPT knows things like the Socratic method as well. So it's like, don't tell me about these concepts. Facilitate these things out of me. So like facilitate my thinking, right? Facilitate my thinking and ask me questions that will kind of guide me towards these ideas. Yeah. Right? And that's kind of a really good way of learning. So convert any text into PDF, upload it to Keymate, and then what?
I'm just laughing at one of the comments.
Found a whole neighborhood.
Because there was like a document from a client of mine that we uploaded because she needed some stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't show it because it might get some sensitive information. But there were like addresses there. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's this is one of my favorite things to do because, again, as ADHD, I even think super fast. I even think super fast, or I think really slowly and cannot concentrate. But when I use ChatGPT properly with plugins and Keymate and knowledge bases and proper prompting, I feel like I'm thinking super fast all the time. And that's just an amazing superpower. Now, okay, so can we delete this?
No, you can't delete like a certain file. If you say delete, it's just going to delete my entire knowledge base.
I can delete my entire knowledge base, but not just a few
No, because
items.
it doesn't get stored as items.
I cannot search because the vectors then I would need to. Okay.
It's just a bunch of vectors in
So
categories.
You can nuke your knowledge base, but you cannot snipe it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's why I usually recommend people to.
There's no 360 no scope with vector databases.
Yeah. So so what you can do is you just collect all of your PD.
Sorry.
I just remembered my old days when I would do such stuff. But David, this is a professional workshop.
I know, but we also like to have fun. So go back to more professional stuff. There is no theoretical limit to the knowledge base. Basically, as you're using Keymate AI is plugged into a service provider called Pinecone, which you already mentioned. Mm-hmm. And basically, the bigger the knowledge base gets, the more expensive it gets for the Keymate guys. So that's basically it. Deletion happens pretty fast, though, right?
Yeah, it's like
that.
Yeah, like Thanos, like. Delete half my knowledge base.
Delete half my knowledge base and do the snap.
We should tell the Keymate guys, if you're watching, you should make like a meme function like delete half of my knowledge base, and then it would respond like done.
Okay. Cool. All right. So this is, I think, the one thing that I wanted to show you today. I actually came with 2 ideas how to do research, but that's actually a longer one. So I might actually just. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record a Loom video for you guys on how I do it, and we're going to send it out to you over email. Would you like that? How to use Keymate AI and ChatGPT Plus to do desk research, either for academia, like for learning, and also how to use this for kind of your work and just, market research, customer research, find stuff like...
Who's going to say no to that?
We'll see.
Oh, we guess we're going to judge it based on the amount of yeses. Okay, then the chat is just blowing up. So.
Okay, I'm pretty sure RJ Johnson is going to do it because, he's a PhD student. Okay, you need to do a project in 3 days. Okay, what are you going to do in the next 2 days then?
Yeah, you can do it in a day with ChatGPT.
All right, we're gonna
ChatGPT.
Okay,
right?
We're gonna put it together and send it over to you guys. And so we can just kind of move forward.
Yeah. Okay. Let me bring us back to the presentation. Give me answer. Keep talking to the chat.
Okay. We're gonna
things back up.
Okay. So in the meantime, we're gonna send this out over email, and we're also gonna add this to our circle community space. So it's pretty easy for you guys to join our circle community, but. Hang tight because we have a few ideas to share on how to move forward. All right. So, what's happening?
I just moved us out of the frame.
This is the first time we do a live from 9 p.m. Local here. Awesome. You're in the centerpiece of all.
Yeah, sorry about that.
This is the first time we do this at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. here, and I think it shows. We're not as focused as
we're just having more fun, dude.
We are having more fun, doing more fun. We're having the fun.
We're funning.
All right, so
hold on, give me 1 second because they still only see our faces.
They still only see our faces. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so here's what we learned so far, right? You guys have learned the key elements of prompts, why ChatGPT hallucinates, how to then turn any YouTube video into an instruction material for ChatGPT so it can teach you and answer questions about you. And, you know, we teach our students to do awesome things with ChatGPT. We teach our students to even automate them to the point when ChatGPT and AI works for them. This is what we teach our students in the ProMaster community. And basically, what we're looking at... So, am I pushing this button?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you're probably already either learning at a university. We have a lot of university students in our community that just joined in the last couple of days. Or you're a professional who is doing your job. And there is a big gap in learning ChatGPT properly. As again, just remember the Harvard, Wharton, MIT research. Currently, if you just use kind of ChatGPT, you're still a pro in your work, but then if you know how to prompt properly, you're still a pro, but faster, like 30% faster. Again, do in 6 hours what takes you 8 hours now. You can save 2 hours a day. Go on a vacation for 2 months, still get everything done. So we teach people how to do these things. And it's pretty simple. We have a proven process that will get you to this level. It's a simple 3-step process without any tech skills, no previous experience needed. This is what we can teach you. Simple 3-step process. Step number 1. We're going to teach you prompt engineering. This course is usually priced at $99, and we have quite a few people, I think it's about 1,000 or more than 1,000 people who've done it.
Yeah.
It's about 4 hours hands-on practical training that gives you over 500 hours worth of ChatGPT knowledge in just those 4 hours. According to Dr. Ward Risvold, Dr. Risvold, I'm not sure if you're watching us tonight. If you are, just say hi in the comments. Who is a lecturer at USG in the United States. He says it's the most advanced prompt engineering course you can find currently. And he did all of them. And he says, I've done about 7 different courses, and hands down, yours is the best without an exception. Now, I just had to read it out loud because it warms my heart so much that a university professor says that. It really does mean something to us. So this is the course that will unlock that 30% faster work. You get access to pre-recorded videos on Circle, and you can get promoted. You can get a thesis done faster. You can get promoted faster. It's basically going to help you just kind of accelerate your career path and just do your job a lot better. Then there's the second thing, which most of our students said this is probably even more valuable than the prompt engineering course. Step 2 is a 45-minute private consultation call with either of us. And this is usually priced at $150. And here are a couple things that people usually ask us. This is your own personal time with us. So most often the questions we get is like, how can I use ChatGPT in my business for this and that? Just, give me advice on how can I integrate AI into my business more specifically from the tech side. Give me kind of guidance on how can I consult either my clients or my colleagues on ChatGPT. How can I use ChatGPT for content creation, for marketing, for business processes, operations, academic research? And sometimes people ask us about how they can create their own educational courses for their company so they could do some internal trainings or again, education professionals, university professors. And we also help people with automating ChatGPT use, as I said. So make.com automations, AI automations is also something people ask from us, and which kind of makes the bad for step 3. But again, in step 2, you literally get 45 minutes of personal one-on-one time with either Dave or myself. There's one thing for sure, that you are going to have 45 minutes with David. And so Here's the thing. There is a caveat though. We only do 2 consulting calls per day from Monday to Thursday. And that means that I think we have 9 slots remaining open for October, and we have 40 slots open for every month. I think we have like 3 or 4 already booked for November.
Yeah.
So make sure that you hurry up and just book it if you're in the program. The step 3 is becoming a prompt master. Go from being a prompt engineer to become a prompt master. That's basically going to teach you super advanced ChatGPT uses, very convoluted strategies to kind of have incredibly long and productive conversations. And I'm talking about going from a blurb of just unorganized text that you get, let's say, from a marketing client or from your colleagues, and at the end you get a perfectly crafted marketing strategy and email and documentation and everything. And we're going to teach you how to use all the plugins, how to have the right plugin strategy, how to use advanced data analysis. Again, no coding skills needed whatsoever, but we're actually going to teach you how to automate your work with ChatGPT based bots, which means that you're going to build automation bots without coding.
Yeah.
The way we teach this is through live workshops each week on Thursdays. We're going to teach you everything we know. This access is usually priced at $999, and this is delivered through Zoom workshops. We do the live workshop. We have Q&A. It's a very interactive. I think we have a couple students from our Pro Master course as well here. So just let people know in the comments how you find the experience so far. When buying these services separately, these would cost you about $1,200?
Yeah.
$1,200. The ChatGPT Accelerator bundle is gonna be your ticket to getting all 3 steps in one and getting the prompt engineering. It says 30-minute consulting. We did not update this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we used to give 30-minute, but we were like, 30 minutes is probably not enough, so let's just do 45. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we went over time with a lot of people. We went over
time anyway. So this usually costs you about $1,247, but now we're going to give it to you for $297. So $297, you get our 3-step process, a 4 hours prompt engineering course, and 45-minute live consultation with us, and the Zoom calls every single week. Currently, there is late admission for October. So if you join today until next Tuesday, you're going to still get access to all the previous recordings that we had for Pro Master for October. And you still get to join the next course, the next live workshops from November. Yeah. Now, how can you get it? You can either take a photo of this QR code from your from your screen, or just go to prommaster.com/bundle, and it's pretty easy to get it. And while you're doing that, I want to just really show you what happens when you buy that, because that's the easiest way to go about this. I really want to emphasize that this is literally everything we know.
Give me 1 second while I'll pull the community up.
In the meantime, I'm going to take a look at the comments.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing a terrible job monitoring the comments. I usually can't pay attention to any things that I just want to be here on the workshop.
Yeah. Okay. So also, let's say, the cleaner picture of Ultimate. This is a steep jump from Take Zero course. Okay, so the math ain't mathing. I love your username. We're gonna teach you all of these things, like how to get the most out of Keymate in depth in the community as well.
Here we go. You can take the trackpad and just show people around in the community. Like, this is where you join when you sign
here
up.
Is what happens. You can still just take a photo of the QR code, and that will take you to prommaster.com/bundle when you can make the purchase.
And that's where you can find the Keymate sheet.
That's when you can also find the Keymate cheat sheet.
And you don't even need to purchase or anything. You can just go and get the Keymate sheet there.
All you need to do is take a photo of this and That's going to take you to the bundle landing page. You can buy the bundle there, but at the bottom of the page, you find a direct link to the KeyMate cheat sheet, which with all the advanced commands that will probably also help you, Robin, who just asked the question. No, sorry, not Robin. The math ain't mathing about KeyMate. I'm going to get back to you, Robin. So here's what happens. When you make a purchase of the bundle, you're going to get invited to our Circle community. And you can see that we have quite a few people here. People just come in here and introduce themselves. And then in the general chat, it's actually quite a lovely community that we have here. So this is where our most active students are. Here you will be greeted by our lovely community member, Daniel. Community manager, Daniel. Daniel actually just started out as a student after buying the ChatGPT Accelerator bundle a couple of weeks ago on a workshop like this. I think it was on a Wednesday. And he's now our community manager, and he's making sure to kind of welcome everyone personally. And it's just, there's a lot of awesome stuff here. So if you don't do anything, just participate in the conversations, you're going to find a lot of goodies as well. Now, you can also find the prompt engineering course here. So let's see what's in the prompt engineering course, right? So you find the prompt engineering course materials here, which is going to give you a basic foundation of artificial intelligence theory, tokens, ChatGPT, prompting, the 6 key elements of the prompt, different advanced prompting strategies as well. Also, differences between different GPT models, browsing plugins. It's 3.5-4 hours.
Yeah.
Can
you just open one of the videos, like maybe one of the examples? It's all right. I just want to show like how to people, like there's something that's cool is like we have my AI avatar. So in the beginning, the AI avatar is doing the lecturing. And then what I do is I hop in, and then we have these so-called prompt along exercises where you can just help come with me as I prompt and as I analyze the response. And it's also useful for GPT 3.5, so you don't need like a ChatGPT Plus subscription to make good use of this.
So it's basically you get prompt along exercises when Mr. Dave Tallis, our resident teacher, teaches you with him. It's like prompting with ChatGPT as well, and you can just get everything here. Now we just moved over from Teachable, so our previous students are still migrating over. Then you will also get access. You will also receive an email with the Calendly link to book your consultation session, and then you will also get access to ProMaster. So ProMaster course is going to be happening, or is happening, through these live events. And again, late admissions, if you buy it now, you're going to get access to the previous two Zoom sessions. I think the first one was actually live on Circle. The second one was on Zoom. So as late admission, you can do it, and you can just, if you buy it today, you will get access to these previous recordings the minute you make the purchase immediately. Then also,
and you can join the upcoming part where you can join like the upcoming sessions. We have now the next 2 sessions scheduled, but as we move on, we are going to just schedule the ongoing stuff.
So basically, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central European time, we're going to have our session 3 for ProMaster course, which is going to be teaching you how to find the right tasks within your own work, within your own line of work, that will help you, that you should use ChatGPT for. We give you the tools. There are Google Colab notebooks that we're going to teach you how to use without even understanding any code. And we're going to give you the specific steps on how to find the right kind of tools to use AI in your work to save time and do things faster. As you can see, everything we do is about thinking faster and doing things faster.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so basically, we teach you these advanced use cases. We teach you building ChatGPT macros, which is like sequential prompting, the really long conversation with ChatGPT that gives you like very advanced stuff like thesis work or business proposals, etc. And also how to use make.com to automate ChatGPT and AI for specific use cases. So yeah, if you want to keep learning from us, just go ahead and buy the bundle by going on here, and see you on Circle. It's I love this community. It's just everyone's so nice.
Okay, let's not spoil it for them. That's enough.
Oh, okay, that's enough. Sorry, I would just show this to people, but it's like, all right. So I think that's about it.
Yeah. We have 5 more minutes.
We have 5
from the time.
We have 5 more minutes.
So yeah, questions.
Let's go through a few questions. So playback Oz, yes, I already answered that. You get access to part 1 and part 2 of the PM 2.0 course with late admissions. For how long will the bundle be available? The bundle is available, but late admissions is only for a week. And oh yeah, one more thing. If you've already taken the prompt engineering course and you want to buy the bundle, you have 2 options. One, go ahead and make a purchase, let us know, and we're gonna refund you the price of the prompt engineering course. That's the one thing. The second thing is just send us an email, and I'm gonna send you a custom discount code that will give you $99 off. But make sure you send that email from the same email that you registered with us when you signed up for the prompt engineering course, because I will check you if you have access to the prompt engineering course, and if you do, I'm just gonna send you back the coupon code, and essentially you can get the bundle for $198.
Yeah. And something we are also going to do is to send out an email to the prompt engineering students. So they will receive a mail from our newsletter. But I know some people are like unsubscribed. So, if you're still a prompt engineering student and you're here and you like wanna join the bundle.
Yeah. So the point is that the bundle and its contents are $297. If you already have a part of the bundle, you're still gonna pay the same price, because you're not gonna pay for the same thing twice.
Yeah. So you're eligible for deducting your prompt engineering.
Correct.
Purchase. Yeah.
Correct. And yeah, that's it. Which one is an Illuminati tattoo?
Well, dude, all of them with like triangles.
These are triangles. These are circles.
Well, they show these triangles.
Oh, sorry. How did I? There you go. I can't.
There you go.
Anyway, it's the 4 elements. It's it's earth, fire, water, air.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Are you the earth bender?
I'm the everything bender, the fender bender.
Lovely jubbly.
All right. Okay, everybody. If we still have any questions, let us know. And Fifth Element movie. Yeah, I could probably do a facial, like a face of Mila Jovovich of that, but I'm pretty sure that my fiance wouldn't approve. And I don't really like Mila Jovovich as an actress, because that was the only good movie that she ever had. I didn't love the Resident Evil movies.
Well, with that being said, let's go and rest.
Let's
wrap things up.
Guys, it was so much fun having you guys here. And for all the first comers, thank you for joining us. Hope that you're buying the bundle and we can see you in Circle. And for all the people that just came, so there's a special shout out that we just launched a major university campaign here in Hungary. So if you were joining us because you just signed up as a university student, you guys are doing awesome things, and you're gonna do awesome things with ChatGPT too if you stick around. And yeah, see you in singularity.
Yeah, see you everybody. Thanks a lot. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, as we are going to keep, coming with more live sessions and more content.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're here to